So Mahavir, one of the most favorite questions of the customers out there, which I want to ask, simply, why do insurance premiums rise?
You're talking about health insurance.
Yes. How do they rise? And what can a customer do if it rises?
So, yeah, meaning I see this as an equally big problem to claim rejections, right? मतलब a certain percentage of people are worried about कि claims नहीं pay होते हैं, but उससे
Yes.
ज़्यादा percentage of people are basically
Worried.
facing
Yes.
premium rise, right? So it's a very important topic to cover. Good that we're talking about it. Let's understand first how premiums rise, right? So the important thing to understand here is that health insurance is not a fixed price product. Right? Term insurance is a fixed price product. So term insurance basically gives you a fixed coverage. जब भी आप claim करोगे, they have to pay that full amount to you.
Yeah.
Health insurance is a very different kind of a product where health insurance में there is a coverage, but an insurer also estimates how much of the coverage you are going to use, right? And as you age, the percentage of the cover that you will use increases, right? So health insurance companies have to basically evaluate, calculate based on multiple things before they decide the premium, and hence the premium is very dynamic, right? How is the premium dynamic? One is the age factor, right? That the age is changing of the customer, right? As the age changes, the increased risk of a person being hospitalized increases, and hence the policy needs to have higher premium. तो वो तो normally product में है ही
Logically, हाँ.
कि वो grade होता है, and that grade tells you that at this age you will pay this premium, this age you will pay this premium. Second is that insurers have to continuously play the balancing act, right? Where they have to calculate कि उनको कितने claims आ रहे हैं,
Okay.
versus that how much premium they are collecting, how much commissions they are paying, how many expenses they are incurring, and then see profitability, right? If the profitability is majorly affected, right, they will have to hike premiums, and that happens for everybody. So it's like basically railways ने rate change कर दिया, petrol के prices बढ़ गए, right? That way health insurance के prices insurer increases, right, saying that I am changing my rate table, right?
Okay.
That is the second.
There should be a reason behind it, as you said कि
There should be
profitability
yes.
is a reason.
हाँ.
Can it be done just like that कि मैं तो बढ़ा रहा हूँ अपना
हाँ, तो पहले in the past, much earlier, IRDA basically used to regulate this. Then IRDA को आपको apply करना पड़ता था. You supposed to basically, there was something called file and use concept, where basically insurers have to go to the insurance regulator, IRDA, and IRDA basically used to approve of rate increases, right?
Okay.
Which has been removed now. Now IRDA has said that you create your own product committee, you create your own governance system, right?
Okay.
And within your company, you have to figure out the rates, and then you can change the rates, right? So now it is deregulated basically. The health insurance premiums can change based on product committee approvals that come from within the insurance company itself.
Okay.
Yeah, so answering your question, there is no regulation now on health insurance premiums.
Okay, so these insurance companies then come together and can hike the premium, like
Not come together also. An insurance company, even a single insurance company can decide to change their
but like
premiums.
I'll go ahead with दूसरा product.
Yeah.
So then they all can come together and say कि हाँ हम premium बढ़ा रहे
That was one way to do it, like it happens in telecom, right? Is what you're saying. But I'm saying in this specific scenario, it is even worse. That the portability is not so easy, right? Meaning once you have a disease, once you are grown old, आप ऐसे ही switch करना बहुत आसान नहीं है. और plus switching का baggage है. There is a baggage of switching, meaning past history, all that becomes a very complicated thing. Portability is not so simple like it is in telecom. So basically, once you're stuck with an insurer, you're stuck with an insurer. So we'll come to that how you figure out that. But point is that yes, you are right. An insurer can increase premiums now whenever they want.
I got the why, I got the how.
There is one more how, which I want to basically include in this, is that sometimes the regulator increases the scope of the policy, right? The regulator, for example, 2-3 years back, the regulator said that अभी pre-existing disease जो है उसका waiting period 4 years नहीं होगा, 3 years होगा.
Okay.
Or regulator says that you cover modern treatments. You have to cover modern treatments. You have to cover mental illnesses, for example, right? So when that happens, the scope of the policy has increased. So the insurer has to price for that and increase premiums for that also, right? So that is one more reason why the premiums would increase. Fourth is healthcare inflation. Like India में hospital rates भाग रहे हैं, मतलब they are running. Actually, typically, if you see, they're zooming. And post-COVID, hospital rates are becoming have been growing very fast. And typically, the number that people talk about is 14% inflation, which is basically every 5 to 6 years, rates are doubling, right? So insurers are a recipient of that, or basically the receiving end of the inflation, like customers are, because they are also payers, right? In this specific case, so they have to factor that also.
Got
तो
it.
जो मैं सोचता था कि average claim was, let's say, 30,000, 50,000 rupees for a customer. Now that has become 75,000 rupees, let's say. So I will have to basically look at it. My probability, my severity has changed, right? I mean, severity has changed, probability has not changed. That's a separate conversation, but my severity has changed. Basis that, I will have to change my premiums also.
Got
right?
it.
So that is another reason why premiums are increasing. Coming to probability, just quickly covering that also.
Sure.
If you see the lifestyle that today's generation is living compared to previous generations, it's also changed. The number of people who get hospitalized at a younger age has also changed. Like first hospitalization my father would have gone through, which is not an accidental hospitalization, would be in his 50s. But now I see people even their 35s are actually going through the hospitalization. So that also has impacted premium. So these all things are basically playing the role in why premiums are increasing.
Okay, got it. And what can the customer do, like, because these things are not in the control of the customer, right? Insurance company, what the insurance company is doing, or what IRDA will do, or
Correct.
what healthcare inflation hospitals will do.
Yeah.
It's not in the hands of the customer.
Yeah.
What as a customer, what can I do when these premium hikes happen?
Right. So the first thing is basically don't just go by an insurer who's giving you a very cheap policy. Right now,
Okay.
in this era of where health insurance premiums are unregulated, what I can do as an insurer is that I may not have a great product, I may not have great services, but I can give you a very, very cheap premium, make you enter the policy. Later, when the claims come in, later when things go wrong, later then frauds happen in my company in terms of claims frauds that happen in my company, I suddenly jack up the rates. Right. So governance plays a very important role here. So find an insurer which is little long term, which basically has a track record of maybe, let's say, 5 years, 10 years,
Got it.
which basically is not basically just biting into the game of pricing. ये थोड़ा take it with a pinch of salt when you see a insurer giving you a policy at, let's say, 30% cheaper premiums, 40% cheaper premiums. It could be a way of attracting and acquiring you, and later on make the premium same as the other insurer, and probably have other issues in terms of claims and all that, because they're charging you low premium, they will have to probably cut it in the claim side. So ये एक बहुत important चीज़ है. Second is, a lot of insurers are not able to attract young population, and that becomes a major issue. Right, this little थोड़ा economic side of the insurer, but समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि एक insurer runs a book of customers. If the book is healthy and is a young book, the number of claims that insurer gets will be lesser.
Yes.
So for that to happen, an insurer should be able to attract young population. For that, their marketing, their acquisition of young customers has to be really, really solid. The more it's able to inflow younger customers, the more it is able to ensure that the margins are good and hence the premiums are less.
Okay, got it.
Right?
Got it.
मतलब कोई ऐसा इंश्योरर है जिसका बुक बहुत ज़्यादा एज हो रहा है, right? And we see this happening in PSU companies, government insurance companies. I'm not naming any company, but there are multiple companies where I see this happening, that now they are not able to grab young generation to the extent that earlier they used to be able to do it, because typically agents, a large percentage of agents are not selling government insurance policies. At least that is my lens. I may be wrong, but this is my lens. And when that happens, you end up basically having only the existing customers with you who are aging on a regular basis, and hence basically your book is getting older. Your premiums are increasing.
How can the customer see the book of the insurer? Like, how
So
will
one way to good question. So one way to look at it is basically incurred claim ratio. There is a ratio called incurred claim ratio.
Okay.
We have a product on our website called Beshak Decoder. Right? You go to Beshak Decoder, click on health insurance. Health insurance में click करके click on basically there is a section called I think detailed review.
हाँ.
उसको अगर आप click करोगे तो नीचे आओगे, उसमें claim section में you will see something called incurred claim ratio. Now incurred claim ratio, what is incurred claim ratio? Incurred claim ratio is a ratio which is basically a calculation of how much an insurer is charging as premium and what percentage of that is paid as claims.
Okay.
ठीक है.
Okay.
The incurred claim ratio typically, as a thumb rule, should be between 60 to 80%.
Okay.
Right? Some insurers have incurred claim ratio which is more than 100% also, which
Yeah,
means that they are collecting 100 rupees but they are paying 110 rupees. Any insurer which has a claim ratio which is above 80% and above 100% also, what will they do? will they keep incurring losses?
No.
Their shareholders will not allow that to happen. They will have to hike their
Hike
premiums.
the premiums.
So
Yes.
basically try to find out insurers who are in that bracket of 60 to 80%.
Okay.
Why the lower bracket of 60%?
60.
Because एक इंश्योरर क्लेम पे भी कर रहा है, वो भी तो होना चाहिए ना. मतलब if it's 60%, they are paying claims also is important. At the same time, they are able to make profits is also important.
Okay, got it.
Right.
It seems like if it is less than 60%, then might be chances that insurance company is not even
paying claims.
Paying the claims.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So if an insurer is basically paying claims less than 60% incurred claim ratio है, तो either the insurer not paying claims, right? That is one thing, or the premiums are very high, already very high.
Premiums are high, then how is it related to claims?
Because it's a incurred claim ratio, right? It is a ratio of premiums collected versus claims.
Achha, okay, sorry. Logical.
So that way. But usually it would be claims are not getting paid. It is a thumb rule. See, it's not a perfect. We are basically giving, like you said, how do customers come to know about how to choose an insurer. So one way is to do this. Second is basically, you get a feel that this is what young people are buying today, right?
How do I get the feel like?
Social media से पता चलता है. You come to know from the people around you what people are buying, right?
Friends, family, colleagues.
It's not.
Like
these are not typically things which I'm saying as this is more of getting a vibe or a feel of the kind of customers this company would be having, right? If it is only being bought by, if you are not hearing about the product in your janta, right, and people who have not bought it, then there is a chance that this product is not being sold to this janta. Is basically what I would have done if I was a customer.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
ये कोई ऐसा कोई मतलब I'm not giving some magic potion here, but these are things that I would do, and that's why I'm telling you this.
One of the hack which I can think of right now is if any policy is giving maternity kind of benefits, is it like they might be attracting people of 28, 29 who are getting married? Is it?
But सब लोग दे रहे हैं आजकल. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि maternity सब लोग नहीं दे रहे. I'm not saying that way. What you are saying, you're going in the right direction. What I'm trying to say is not that. I'm saying that companies which are basically at the forefront, like what you said, I'm just extending to that. Sure. Forefront of innovation. They are coming up with new products, new policies, solving for problems that customers have, features ला रहे हैं. आपको दिख रहा है वो companies typically may be attracting younger customers. But मैं ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा कि यही important factor है. There are multiple factors. One of the factors is this.
Got it.
But if a company has an incurred claim ratio of 90, 95, 100, 105, then it is clearly written that it is going to happen. Right? And this, if linked to an aging book that we already spoken about, is a vicious circle. You have an aging book, your aging book will ensure your premiums are high. Your premiums are high, younger people will not renew the policy. They will go and port into another policy. Because they will port into your aging book will become more aged.
More aged, yeah.
And that will
more
continue
claims.
And that's a more claims, your premiums are the same, and that will impact your incurred claim ratio. So that is one way of basically understanding which insurer to look at. Yeah.
Okay, so Mahavir, these are the ways to find out, right, which insurer might hike the premium.
Yeah.
Now, let's imagine there is a new customer who is going into the market. He or she will study the 3 pointers which you mentioned, right? What that customer should do to make sure कि the insurer will not hike the premium or इतना hike नहीं होगा in comparison to the other insurers.
So you avoid all these insurers, right? Meaning whatever you find out that typically जिसका incurred claim ratio ज़्यादा है, like whatever we spoke about. The other thing that basically you can do, which is on your side of the control. This can happen that today you found an insurer who's not doing it, but future way they can start increasing their premiums, right? So that can happen. Abhi incurred claim ratio is 80% when you're buying the policy. Tomorrow, let's say 3 years later, that insurer which you have bought has 110% claim ratio. You cannot do anything about it. So what do you do in such a scenario, right? So from this perspective, a lot of people now recommend that you buy a base plus super topper policy instead of having only one single sum insured policy. Right?
Okay.
उसका logic ये है कि let's say at any given point in time, let's say in the future, if the premiums go up very significantly, then you can drop the base policy and continue with the super topper policy.
Understood.
Right?
Yeah.
In this case, what will happen is that you are covered for large expenses in the future when you will need it, when probably you're retired and you have only a wealth from where you can dole out money and pay. At the same time, you would have enough wealth to pay for the base coverage that you now don't have a health insurance for.
Got it.
So वो एक तरीका है that you can use. The other way to do it is to create a own healthcare fund, right? Where you feel कि मैं मेरा खुद का healthcare fund बनाता हूँ. I will do like an SIP which is linked to my healthcare expenses in the future,
Understood.
which I anyways recommend for your OPD expenditure, for expenses which are for medical tests that you may have to take care of, for things which are not covered under health insurance. तो आपको ऐसे भी you should have one SIP for your own healthcare needs in the future. उसमें ही आप एक और एक SIP करवा सकते हो, which is basically going to take care of probably two things. One, it could take care of the healthcare expenses for that first 5 lakh, 10 lakh that you are going to drop off the policy. The other could be you could do an SIP for the health insurance premiums only, right?
What?
Matlab you do an SIP which will be a fund from which you will pay health insurance premiums.
अच्छा, okay, got it, understood.
So matlab तुम savings करो, वो savings then
Yeah,
you could
sure.
take a call to use it as a fund to fund directly healthcare expenses.
Got the understanding. Yeah, thanks Mahavir for this. Literally, like, it was great insight.